Hi everyone, so this is going to be Oban Star Racers. So this is for Dreams for PS4. Just let you know this is for educational purposes, and if I do release it on Dreams in the future, it's going to be free. I'm not going to make any profit of it. It's for young kids to play it and fall in love with Oban, just like how we did when we were young. Um, for the most part, this is the whizzing arrow test. This is going to be the hyperdrive. So the hyperdrive test is what we're going to be doing today and showing what we've been working on. So I've been getting some help from a lot of the community, helping me figuring out a lot. Josh Vandenburg, if I can pronounce his name fully. He has been a truly, really big help on this. He has helped me figure out a lot of the logic system of the hyperdrive. It was a lot of work to figure out. It took us hours of work, but he was so awesome just to able to go through and help me go through that. I wouldn't have been able to figure it out without him. I was kind of really stuck. And then I also got all these different other fixes. So the axis is completely fixed now, so it's just hovering on one axis to where it's not sinking into the ground or just floating up in the air. So I fixed those issues. Apparently my microchip and my plane was all completely not aligned. It was just slightly adjusted, and I had to fix the microchip to make that align, to make the whizzing arrow align with everything, and then the ground here, the plane, I had to get all that aligned as well. So I also went and figure out more of the controls too on some things, and also you can see the engines. The engines are lighting up a little bit of blue. I got that going, little glow effects inside of them now. And if I get going, you can see this is the actual speed of the whizzing arrow that I went with. It just feels really nice. If you see it as a little choppy on your end, it's because of the fact that it could be just the video, not recording it fully or something. It is so smooth and really nice. But yeah, it's just really nice. And you can also see the little rockets, I guess, little, well, not the little rockets, the thrusters I got. And you can see they slightly go out if you stop there. So yeah, you can see how they work. So that's how I got them all programmed and designed there. So yeah, these are really cool things. But what about the hyperdrive? That's going to be one of the biggest questions that you want to see, right? So this is the main point of this test, right? So the hyperdrive is really fun. So this is the hyperdrive. So it activates some vibrations going from 0 to 100, and you can see this is what it looks like too. And then when it starts to die, the flames come back in, and everything turns off, and you go back to normal speed. And normally the wait time is a lot longer for you, but for us, it's going to be pretty quick because we're in test mode, so that you can see it more. And you can also do really sharp turns and stuff on this. Like, literally, the turns are so sharp, you can turn on the dime. So the turns are really sharp, and then if you want to do a slide, slides are so easy. So yeah, you got really nice control when it comes to stuff. This is what I really like. The control-wise is just really comfortable. I might make it where it's slightly more up in the air. You know, like depending on how it goes down the road. Let's see, I'll bring it up a little bit. Alright, so grab it. Oh, whoops, I made a duplicate. So I bet I'll make it where it's like up higher So yeah, it'll be up here most likely, like during the actual gameplay when you're playing it. But if we're going to make it where it does all of its crazy flips and things, I think I'm going to do button controls, making it where you can do it like that, because if you push up on the D-pad, I want you to do a backflip. If you push left on the D-pad, I want you to do a roll to the side, like where if you have an opponent on your left side, you click left on the D-pad, you roll over them. It's like a really cool roll effect where you do a really fun roll above your opponent. And they'll be on the right side of the joystick as well. And then down on the D-pad, I don't know what I want to do for that, but I wanted to be more in control because, yeah, when it came to a lot of this, I was really looking at it, I'm like, giving the player full control like this. See here, let me go and add this. So this is not going to be in control right here. This is actually going to be all out of whack. So yeah, that's not going to be all pretty, but so you're supposed to be able to do flips right here. Oh, whoops. I went way too far down. Sorry about that. I cut off my engines by accident. Okay, so anyways, you should be able to do flips. And you should be able to do quite a bit. So now you can see that I can do the flips in the directions like this, right? So here's the thing that really trips me out is that, so going in this direction, it's going down to make it go up. In this direction, it makes it up on the right joystick to go up, So the axis really plays weird. So if I go up over here, it goes down. If I go up over here, it goes sideways. Like, it's really freaking weird going up and down on the different axes. So it makes it where you can do things like this, but it's not all that very pretty. And honestly, it's like I really don't want the player to have that kind of control. It's too loose, and you see right now it's all out of whack. It's out of angle. I don't like that, and it's too confusing with the controls going back and forth on changing directions. Like, that's not how it's supposed to be. So what I want to do is see if I can make it where if I turn to the left, it's like, let me turn off all this again. So if I turn to the left, I want to make it where I can tilt it just slightly as you're moving around so that I can make it where it does that really cool turn effects that we really like. But definitely I like it down here. It has more control for the ship, and to make it where if I can do those buttons to make it where you can do those things automatically, I think that's going to be just more easier where you can just do flips over your opponents or doing weird things just to hit stuff. Probably make down on the D-pad where you can just go up and get a point of something or go on a shortcut to make it where it makes the whizzing arrow do a jump or something like that. I don't know. I can make it on one of the other buttons, I guess, probably. But it's too strong when you give the control to the player like that. It's too out of whack. I have to figure it out. So if I can figure it out like to be like a normal thing, it's like, woo. Yeah, the controls here, it turns really sharp. Like if you really want to like do a quick turn, I'm driving backwards now. Like for real, it seriously does these crazy turns, like the craziest, fastest turns. I don't know if I'm going to try to put a limiter on that, like to make it where you can't turn too fast like that. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hyperdrive just feels so nice. If you're actually doing it yourself, it feels so good. Um, no pun intended, right? So you can see. Yeah, I can imagine when you're moving around and you're racing and you're having fun, it's gonna do the trick. So, anyways, going back over here, so I want to show you guys things I've done. Definitely you can see the lights, the paint job is a little bit fixed there. The gunner's paint job is a little bit thinner now, smaller strokes. I also did other couple things, the engine stuff here. I gotta fix the star here. I gotta do that at some point. That is the little bunny. Hello, my little bunny. Anyways, the Mark II is what this version is, and of course, down the road, if I get a chance, I'll make the second version of the Mark III version to make it where you can do that later on in the races or something like that. But yeah, so far it's coming along pretty nicely, and I still got to do a nicer paint job on this, make it more dirty and rough it up some, I guess. But so far it's coming along pretty nicely, and I think as time goes on, we'll see how things turn out even further. You can actually see this. This is the whole center. Now, you'll see that there's something missing in the front. A little doohickey thing that goes down, an extra hair. So those things are completely gone. It was such a pain, very, very hard to get these shapes, and it was just not working trying to get an extra extension down here. And plus trying to keep the geometry down as much as I can, so that it makes it where I can do extreme detailed maps in the future, and also a lot of different ships. Um, so I had to cut corners on some things, but I'm not going to try to do that on everything. But I definitely want to do ship battles, to multiple ship races, to just one ship race. You know, like how you're following the story about Oban Star Racer, you get a really fun side of it. Um, some of the things that I got to work on my next to-do list is definitely the gunner area is going to be one of them. The tilt, when this thing goes to the left, I want it to be able to tilt, like say it's going to the right now. You know, I want it to be able to tilt a certain way to show that it's going and tilting to the left or something like that when you're moving. Because as you're going to be doing things, I want to make it where you can, you know, like go back and forth with the different movements like this, and just have fun. Um, yeah, going on it, it's really nice. We'll see how things turn out. Let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead, see if this is a new creation real quick. So that we can just bring it into the map of Oban that I'm working on, one of the racing maps. Now, I haven't added to it the last time we've seen it. It's just I've been busy trying to develop this, so it's a really a big, long process for me to figure out. It's going to take me a while. So, let me exit out of this. Let me save. So you can see all the different versions I've done and stuff, to the shapes and everything, trying to go into making this thing. Oh, whoops, I clicked play. It's the older version. So, by the way, I wanted to add grass to those things, but that was like when I add all the other geometry shapes of the buildings and structures around here, and I mean extreme. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to add too much. Whoops. I wasn't trying to click on that. On some extra little details. I don't know. It's going to be a while. Let's see here. So, this is the map. Okay. Yeah, I was just kind of curious if these things are... Oh! Okay, so the map is actually slightly unaligned. So, I wonder if I'm going to start sliding into the map at some point on this. So, yeah, if you can imagine, you're going to be going really fast through here. And it's going to be really fun. And as you're going to be going through... Oh, whoops. Hold on, I'm moving too fast. So, yeah, I actually wonder if I go from here. I'm going to let it calm down. Man, that was really too fast there. Okay, so I want to try... Oh, that's going to be so fast. Oh my gosh, if you guys are going to be playing this, you're going to be going nuts. Oops. Yeah, it's good to actually probably have really fast responsive on controls because, you know, you're going to have really sharp areas, you know? It's like, woo! It's like the response of these turns. Like, once you get used to it, I bet you'll be pretty good at it. But for the most part, yeah, definitely if you see this, it's going really well. You got really fast time on controls with this. So I can imagine if you got really good with the Hyperdrive system, you can probably go around the corners really sharply and really fast. So it's going to be really nice. Whew. Yeah, I still got no collisions yet. So that's one of the things I'll be working on next. But you can see that definitely the movement is really nice. For the speed, I think is going to be just right. Because Oban is really a fast game, not a very slow game. And so I really don't want to cut back on anything like that. So, I'm going to let the hyperdrive just sit there for a second. So, when it came to the design here, I guess this little background picture that I found online there is actually not correct because I looked at the races itself. I went back and watched them on my own copies of the seasons. And I noticed that the actual little grid-like material is over here in this area, along with the different groups of these things on the edges of the stuff here. There's little other towers over here. There's even a tower on top of the rocks there. Like if I back up, you can see if there was a windmill up there or something like that. Now, then again, I don't think I'll really need to add too much details out here. I can add quite a bit, but at the same time, I want to be careful. The further out the details are, I'm going to make a little less, and then the more details inward, because you're only going to be allowed a certain width of movement areas here. I might allow you to go outside of the map just like by a few hairs, but for the most part, you're going to be very limited on a area of movement. But it's coming along really nicely, and I can't wait to get the opponents going and getting them all programmed, and where you can fly them as well. So you got different choices. So yeah, pretty much this is how it all is. This is Oban Star Racers. I hope you really enjoyed seeing this on Dreams. Once you see me upload more, you're going to start seeing it come out a lot more. Man, this Hyperdrive is so fast. Exactly what it was meant to do. But it's so fast, just like the anime. It's like, whew. So I can't wait to see what people do when they play the game for real and they see it. Honestly, I really love the control being like this. This is more perfect for Oban. And this height right here, honestly, around this height, probably a little bit higher, I'll do. So that you're not touching this area when you go across the grid a little bit into this area. I want it to be just a little bit higher, I guess. And now I gotta work on the collisions. So yeah, a lot to do on this to-do list with this thing. So Hyperdrive done. I guess the flip things are next. So I'm gonna work on that tomorrow. Is gonna be the flips. Hopefully I can get that figured out. And after that, I think it'll be the gunner. To see if I can get the gunning, the thing on the left side there to shoot, and then to see if I can make it where it can start rotating from different sides, from like being on the left side and then go over to the right side and being automatic or something like that, because there's no way you're going to be able to shoot while driving this thing. That's just my personal opinion. You're going to be going really fast in the race. I just think you're going to not be able to shoot at the same time. So I think it'll be nice thinking you have a chance to where you can do co-op probably, and just like if you're going to be with a friend or something like that, make it where your friend can be in the turret, and you know, you make it automatic when you're by yourself, I guess. That's what I'm going to do. But yeah, this is Oban Star Racers. I hope you enjoyed seeing where it's at in development. The Hyperdrive is coming along really nicely. So yeah, it's really up to you what you think, but yeah, I can't wait to see how that goes. And I also have to get the water effects going. When you're going across the water, I wanted to do crazy splashes and ripples and dirt effects too. If you're going across dirt, doing dust and stuff. It looks like I'm in the water actually. It's kind of funny, I didn't notice that. And you'll notice even with the first video I posted, the wing was out of its socket. I got that all fixed too and all aligned. Anyways, you guys all have a good one. Thank you for everyone that's been helping me learn how to do this. And I actually contacted the company that did Oban Star Racer to make sure I'm going to be okay, where they're not going to try to take me off the air here with the taking down the game or anything like that down the road. So that I can have rights, like permission, to really just be able to have it playable for other people, and where people can experience it and have fun and bring new people to the fan stuff. So we'll see what happens. I wrote them in the email. We'll see what they say. I think this is about the height I was actually going to go for. It's more better. Yeah, that's more a better height. Wow, you're gonna do such sharp turns. Oh, this thing's so fast. Oh, this is so cool. So yeah, when you do this, oh, you're gonna just love the controls to it. It's like, woo, crazy. But anyway, lots of work to do. So after I'm done with the whizzing arrow, I think I'm just going to go ahead and finish up the map, get the map done, and then do a couple runs on it, and then I'm going to make the opponents and see how that works. Because I want to have definitely the cat ship. The cat ship is actually my next thing that I want to do, is to get the cat ship going. That's one of my favorites. So I honestly want to get that going, and to where I get to fly that and have it as an opponent too. So anyway, that's the hyperdrive, and that's where the controls are at for the racer itself, for the whizzing arrow. This is where it's going to be at for the fastness for it. And then even with the hyperdrive, it's going to be super fast for you, to where you can do a lot of extreme movements. So yeah, you can see what that looks like. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy that. We'll see what happens. Later. Thank you for watching.